Today, we are going to take a look after one of the most important packages of Node.js, that is SocketIo. The SocketIo package is being used for sending data from the client side to the server side and then back to the client side. In this video, we are going to take a look after how the SocketIo works and what are the advantages of using SocketIo instead of WebSocket. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video. So for getting started with the SocketIo, what you need to do, you need to just go to the console and say like nodemon, or if even before running that you need to say npm I socket.io. This is the main thing that you need to write here, socket.io. First you need to install it, then you can use it. Okay, socket.io, that's all installed. And as you can see, index.js is the server side and index.html is client side. Okay, let's go ahead and make one simple express app. So let's say const express is equal to require express. Then we are going to make one app using this express function. So let's say express, we are going to call this express, and then we are going to say here let's make one http server as well. So for that we need to just take the http module and we are going to say required http dot server. We are going to set the server to the app. That's it, that's our express app. So now we can use the functions by using the http. So let's say listen, we are going to pass the port here, then a callback function to just retrieve the message to the user that we are just listening at port 8000. So let's say console.log, let's say listening at port 8000, and let's run it by using the nodemon port 8000. Okay, so that's all fine. Let's go here and run that. So you can see cannot get slash is the error. So what we can do here, we can just say simply a app dot get slash, then we are going to pass a request the response, and then we are going to just say response dot send file. Or even before that we need the path module. As you all know, in my previous videos I just talked about the path, that we need the path to specify which file we want to send. Okay, so let make one option, because every time we are just saying path dot join underscore name and the index.html, right? So now we are going to do it in a very different way. That's like, let's make one variable with the name of options. In that we are going to pass the root. Okay, so the root is going to be the path dot join underscore underscore. Okay, let's say underscore underscore name. Okay, I think that's fine. Now let's say like res dot send file, and in this we are having two things. First of all, we are going to pass this index.html, and then we are going to pass the options. Okay, so I hope that works. Let's go back, let's reload it. So you can see that we are rendering the index.html file. Let's give some content here, and let's say in the title like socket.io, socketio client side. Let's say this. So for using socket.io you need to import it by saying like const io is equal to require socket.io. We are importing the socket.io as a variable io. Then what we are going to do, we are going to say here io, and even before that require socket.io, and then we are going to run one more function in this, and at this point we are going to pass the http server after that. Now we are going to say io dot on, and we are going to check for a connection. If suppose we get some connection from the client side, we are going to say if we get some connection, we are going to say a new user connected. Okay, let's say a new user connected. Okay, let's see that. So io.on connection, we are going to check for a connection. If we get one connection, we are going to say a new user connected. Okay, so let's go to the index.html file, and let me tell you one thing, that when we are using the socket.io on the client side, then we need to connect the socket.io to the server side. For that, we cannot use required functions here in the client side because that's going to throw one error that what is required. So for that, we are going to use one CDN of socket.io to connect these two files. Okay, let's go here and say socket.io. We are going to say socket.io, socket.io CDN. So when you search socket.io CDN, you are going to just get the first CDN JS link. Let's copy this. So just make sure that you are visiting the same website, not any other one. So you need to just copy the first link that you are going to get. So just copy this CDN link and not like this. Just say like script src. You are going to paste this. And now after that, we are going to say in the body, we are going to make one script tag and say let socket equal to IO. We are going to run the IO. Okay, we are going to run the IO. And the moment we run the IO, we are going to get one message in the server, in the console, that a new user connected, because it just scan that if a new user connects, we are going to log it to the console. I hope that works. Let's save this and let's go back. Let's reload it. And the moment I reload it, a new user connected. As you all can see, a new user is connected. So this is how you can just make one connection between the server side and the client side. Okay. Now let's take a look after the next one, that's like on disconnect. So when we are running the IO dot connection, IO dot on connection, then in the parameters we are having one socket. In that we are going to say socket dot on, and we are going to check for that disconnection. Okay, let's say disconnect. Let's say console.log user disconnected. Let's save that. So the moment I save that, I reload it. So you will see that a new user is connected. First the message comes like when we connect a new user connected, we reloads, it says user disconnected because the previous user just disconnected by reloading. Then we are again joining it like a new user just connected. Okay, so suppose if I just remove this tab here, then what will happen? You will only see the user disconnected this time. You will not see a new user connected because the new user connected only comes when we reload any site, or when we revisit any kind of site. So then only a new user connected will appear. So this is how you can just check for the disconnection. Next thing is, if suppose any message comes, like this is the main part. If any message comes, then how can you check that? So let's say socket dot on message. Then we are going to take this message here in the as a variable e in the parameter, and then we are going to say console.log e. Okay, we are going to do like that. But before that, we are going to send one message from the server to the client side. Socket.send hi. We are going to send this message from the socket side to the client side, and then we are going to check if we get any message from the client side or not. So let's go on the client side and say socket.on. And the same thing we are going to run at this point as well. We are going to run the same functions here and there, and we are going to check the for the same condition on both server side and client side. So socket.on message, and we are going to take one parameter e. Okay, and then what if we get any kind of data in the form of with the parameter e, we are going to just take the data for. Okay, let's see what we are going to get. Okay, I just save that and I just go here, reload the website. Okay, just let me just open that. I just close that. So let me go to the console and I should get some data hi. So you can see hi is there, right? So hi we are sending from the server side, right? Socket.send hi. So we are going to receive hi on the client side. Now suppose if we send any kind of message from this side, then we are going to receive it in the console. If we get any message here, let's say socket.send e. Okay, so let me just save that. The moment I save that, I go back reload it. Hi. So what just happened, you may ask? Let me tell you. So we are just establishing one connection by using the socket.io. Then we are sending one message. Even before that, we are checking for disconnection. If we get disconnection, then we are going to say user disconnected. But even before that, we are sending one message, hi, to the client side. Okay, and we are checking if we get any message, then we are going to log it to the console. These are the things that we are missed. We are doing total of 4 tasks on the server side. First, making the connection, checking for messages, checking for disconnection, and then sending the message. Okay, so these are the 4 tasks that we are doing on the server side. Now, if we go to the client side, you can see we are doing 2 tasks. First, we are just calling the IO function to just make a connection. Second, we are just checking for messages. If we get any kind of message, we are going to send it back to the server to check is it working or not, or the connection is clear or not. So you can see the connection is all clear, and you can see that we are able to send messages from the server to the client and back to the server. Okay, so we just send message hi from the server to the client. The client, it hits the client server, not client server, but the client side. The client side just send the message back to the server side by saying hi. So this is the way you can just establish one simple connection and then send messages from the server to the client side. So yeah, that's all for the first part of Socket.io. We are going to meet you in the next video when we are going to discuss about some more events of Socket.io and some more things like we can just declare our own events in Socket.io. Like you saw that we were declaring events like on message, on disconnect, on connect. So we can make our own like on client connected, on array send, on number send. So like we can make our own events in socket.io on both client side and server side. So about that we are going to take a look after in the next video. So till then, see you.